What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Cardano today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are on a daily aspect, sitting at about 80 cents right now. Found resistance right here at about $1, $1.20, right? Coming down, finding support, continuing to find support right at this area. You had a nice bounce here. You're grinding it out now. You probably go a little bit lower, and that's okay. I actually suspect most of the market drops. Don't count on it, though. You never know when Cardano could let loose the goose, man. And when that goose flies, she flies high, baby. You know she does. If we look at this relative high here to this relative low, we went all the way up to the 786, 886 area. It is very common to find support in the 382 to 0.5 zone, which you have. But then you rejected your golden zone again. You come back down. I would say it's completely possible. I'm not saying that this happens, but I would say it's completely possible that Cardano could go all the way to 64 cents, okay, to the 236. Now, again, I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I accept it as a possibility. What I would more likely believe is that Cardano finds support around 73.7 cents, because actually from the 886 going specifically to the 382 is a very common thing. This zone, yes, but specifically the 382 is a very common thing. So I could see that happening, not just for that fib perspective alone, but because you also found support right here, a little bit of support right there. It's just below this support zone here. Even here on a closing daily basis, you found some resistance for a little bit of time. It's not the most significant time frame, but let's or not the most significant price, but there is some relative significance here. Let's go back in time and see if there's more. Let's just see here, going all the way back, way back. A little bit of turbulence there, yes. And look at that, you're finding support now at this area. Again, you don't have to go lower. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I think, let's see if we keep zooming back, there's more relevance, right? Yeah. Support right there. Support in that area. Yeah, nothing too much there, and that's about it. So it's not the most crazy significant area, but there is relevance there throughout this thing's history. And I think if you were to find support here, you would have done it already, like you did on this day. And you moved up, it was nice, but then you rejected back down. Closing below the golden ratio does allow for you to see a lower low, and that's fine if you do. I said 64 cents, not because I expect it, but because if we go lower than 73.6 cents, which is where I think we're going to go, 73 cents itself, if we do go below that, 64 cents would be a very prime area to bounce from, and that's not a prime area to sell from, right? If we happen to move down at a very fast pace, that would be a buying opportunity. It would be a higher low overall. It wouldn't be anything to be afraid of. You probably even get double bullish divergence on your daily RSI. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame and see if that confirms. Yeah, the 4-hour looks bearish. Looks very bearish. You're likely going to get into the oversold zone. Looking at this here from a low to a high, you are finding support at the golden ratio, rejecting the 0.5 and down here. Yes, this is normally what you see with deconstructive behavior. 70 cents could be a target. I would say kind of counter to what I would normally say, but this is a very insignificant kind of pivot. It's significant for this range, but compared to what we just looked at, it's insignificant. I would say that you probably find support somewhere in this zone rather than at 70 cents, but you could go all the way to 70 cents. It's possible. I think you'll find support at these low points here at about 73 cents, 74 cents, rather than going to these high points here. But anything's possible. It could happen, right? You could absolutely go all the way down to 69 cents. Maybe you do. Maybe Cardano finds support right at 69 cents, and then it bones the bears. I don't know, man. Something like that could happen. Just prepare yourselves, because likely, looking at this 4-hour time frame, this will happen over the next 3 to 5 days. When I say over the next 3 to 5 days, I don't mean it takes 3 to 5 days to happen. It could take a day to happen, right? It could. I'm thinking 3 to 5 days specifically, but it could happen today. It could happen in the next hour by the time you watch this. Who knows? It might not happen at all. There's no guarantees. And I'm going to give the same speech I gave for XRP, but I'm going to give it in a very shorter kind of term. But if you're looking to sell, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but you're probably choosing one of the worst times to sell Cardano throughout this whole cycle. Not because it's at the lowest point, or not even at the lowest point that it'll be at, but because you have so much higher to go. You're not done here, man. You're only going to see higher prices. And I want to also speak on the fact some people might have been discouraged, and I'm sure the Cardano community, the people who have been here for a long time, aren't discouraged about this, but I know that the tourists might be, or people who like to talk smack, they might think they have a leg to stand on with this. But just because Donald Trump did invite Charles Hoskinson to the White House Crypto Summit does not mean bad things for Cardano, right? Cardano is supposed to be decentralized, okay? it's probably and not ideal if it is decentralized that it's going to be involved in a crypto reserve at all, right? That kind of takes away from the main point. It's good. It's going to be good for the price. Don't get me wrong. People complaining about that. It's like whatever, man. People with a lot of money or a lot of interest in a good project, that's not a bad thing, right? Sure, it can centralize the crypto itself, but I don't think, does it centralize? Would it centralize the network for Cardano? You know, and even so, it's again just another point as to why I think that it's not a big deal if Charles Hoskinson wasn't invited, right? It's really not a big deal. I don't think he seemed offended. I don't think he seemed discouraged. And if he's the commander in chief, the captain of the Cardano boat, I wouldn't be discouraged about it at all, man. 80 cents now. You probably drop a little bit lower in time, and this is what I mean by why it's such a terrible time to sell. You're down 29% this month. You're down 29% this month. It's the worst time to sell. You're so far away from your. If you were to sell, you should have sold at $1 or $1.20. That's where we were thinking that it would pull back from. I didn't know that you'd go down this low, but I'm sure nobody did, right? I definitely expected that you'd find support around this area. I was thinking, like, actually, to be completely fair, I think you can find the video. I think I did say 81 or 82 cents. So, but still, I didn't think you'd go as low as what we're talking about now, is what I should say. But if we look at this high, if we look at this low here. And I don't really care about being right or wrong anyways, man. Being wrong doesn't faze me. Being right doesn't faze me, right? It's bad if it phases. If being wrong phases you, that's bad because you're going to make bad decisions. You're going to not trust yourself. If being right phases you, that's bad. You're going to trust yourself too much. You're going to think you're God or something, like you know something that other people don't know just because you're on a hot streak, right? Just because you're noticing patterns in the markets that are playing out in your favor for once. It's not good. It's not good to get in your head about being right or being wrong as an investor. There are dry spells. There are hot streaks. You gotta take them as they come, and don't celebrate the hot streaks too much. It's nice whenever things go your way. It's nice, and it's okay to address them. It's okay to celebrate them, but don't get a big head about it. And then don't get too discouraged if your TA or if your expectations are not on point, right? Sometimes things happen that you don't expect in life, let alone with charts here. Inevitably, though, enough from me philosophizing here. You will move up higher. Cardano will see new all-time highs. We're at $3.10 at the current all-time highs. You're at 80 cents now with the prospects of dropping to 73 cents, 74 cents, if not as low as like 60 cents itself, or what was it? Was it like 64 cents, 63 cents, maybe 69 cents to bone the bears, right? $6.22 would be your minimum target by the end of the cycle. I think Cardano will likely see prices that are at $15 and beyond by the end of the cycle. It's completely possible Cardano could see $30 by the end of the cycle. It just depends. We'll see how it goes. But from here, let alone from where I think you're going to go, which is a little bit lower, from here, that's anything from a minimum of an 8x, a very like minimum 8x, to potentially something that's on the lines of an 18, 19x. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm expecting the average coin, let's just go over this real quick because I got the chart here. I'm expecting that the average coin does see new all-time highs this cycle. They likely will go from a high to a low. Not every coin, but just the average coin, right? High to low. This is the others chart. This is like the index for the average altcoin. I would expect the average altcoin by the end of the cycle grows up to this 2272 area, right? We see that kind of growth. That would imply from the current levels for the average altcoin, that's a 24x. I don't know about you guys, but I think Cardano is a little bit above the average altcoin. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it saw something more than a 24x, okay? It doesn't have to. Cardano is a top 10 coin. It would make sense if the average altcoin sees a 24x, that this one might see a little bit less than that. And where's that target? Well, it's right here at $15, right? Right there, just below a 24x at 18, 19x right there. I could see that happening. But if you do see something bigger than a 24x, if you do see something that's a little bit above average for what most cryptos are, you're going to be above $20, or even performing average, you're going to be right at $20. Let alone if you perform more, maybe you go all the way up to $30 and you see an overall 38x. Do not let this move shake you out, my friends. We are right at the precipice. The big dogs know it. The big, like all the financial players, the governments around the world that are eating up crypto right now, they're counting on you to sell because they need your liquidity. They need to fill their own bags. And if you don't sell, it's going to be harder for them to fill their bags. Right? They're going to fill their bags with whatever they can take. And moments like this are perfect for them because the smart money is buying. It's the people who are fearful, not the smart money, who are selling right now. Okay? And the reason why they're not selling, the reason why they're buying is because you have that kind of potential with Cardano. You have like 38x potential with Cardano, and at a minimum, even at a bare ass minimum, an 8x. But I personally, my expected minimum would actually be more of like an 18, 19x. If you have that on the table, why at 80 cents would you trade for something that might drop to 73 cents? It might drop to 60 cents or somewhere around that area, but likely does see prices that are at new all-time highs by the end of the cycle. Multiple dollars, tens of dollars, maybe even $30 at the all-time high. Who knows? It could go higher. Maybe I'm not bullish enough, but I feel like that's already pretty damn bullish. I got nothing else to say. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.